Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 11th of September. Right, okay, let's have a look at these markets then. First things first, though, the news. Let's just bring this up and look at the news that we've got coming out today. We've just had GDP data. It's the month-on-month figure. These tend to, when they release monthly, they tend to lose a bit of zip, although the figures here is quite a bit short of expectation there, and we have seen a bit of a reaction into the markets. Other data really today is this inflation data that sits there at 130, which could mean a choppy old morning as traders wait for that. We've got the PPI tomorrow, which again, any of this US inflation data will be what everyone's hanging on to see whether they'll take a 0.25% cut or a 0.5% cut when they meet next week. There we go. That's the long and short of it. Anyway, that's it today. Really, crude oil inventories, they're pretty key at the moment. So watch out for any growth within those, because that will push the price of oil down even further. That's pretty much it. Let's just see if there's any speakers. There's no speakers listed here. No speakers today. So they've got the yields on there actually later on this evening or later on this afternoon. So right. So technically, we'll start off here on the dailies off of the euro dollar. And yesterday came down almost, it was just fractionally short of its monthly pivot there, finding some support just beforehand. Actually just broke the pivot here, went short of the other one, through this one. Look at that nice 200 sitting there below. I'm looking at the short-term time frame here. I was just watching this for a moment, and it was looking like maybe it'll roll back over again, but it has taken a bounce since 2 o'clock this morning. We'll see what develops from this. It's a hard one though. Arguably, it's literally just came back to this level around where these previous highs were, around about 110.50, around that area, halfway point. Not sure why resistance there, but seems to be a level. Okay, anyway, I don't have a particular setup banging into that. On the pound dollar, well, pound dollar again, similarish picture, bit of a bounce yesterday, previous as well, but just looking a bit softer on this at the moment, but because it's a monthly figure of GDP, although the quarterly figures were there as well, there was slightly less impact. Dollar yen, this is certainly been moving at a rate here. It's broken through, it's taken out its monthly S1 now, continuing to push southbound. It's just short of its weekly S1, which I was looking at. I haven't actually put the target on this trade that I took here, but it's working okay at the moment. But I'm looking here for further downside now. As the dailies go here, it's already gone through its S1, S2, so it doesn't look like it's likely to have a lot more until we see that inflation out later. Now I'll make a decision on that in terms of whether to close out beforehand or just let it run, or close out part beforehand. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar finding support there still on its monthly pivot. It was into that yesterday. It's holding around there at this stage, but it's just really consolidating, continuing to consolidate around these lows here. I was talking about the 200 yesterday, and it's still sitting there, looking like, well, perhaps it could drop off there, but pushing up at the moment. Nothing particularly clear here. So probably best left. US dollar CAD. This saw a bit of a rally yesterday. It's just and well, it's come short of its short of setting my alert there. um, Perhaps it thought it was the pivot, but it's back into these previous lows basically. Now, if it can hang in here, well, perhaps we'll see something more significant setting to the downside. On the short term here though, well, it's just breaking through the pivot at the moment. It's double topped up the highs here. Looks very different in terms of different time frames, but it's close to some key resistance. I'm looking, there was these prior highs over here as well, so yeah, it's finding some resistance into its S1 at the moment. We'll see how things change through this morning. If it starts turning, well, a break of the S1, we'll see it running towards the S2, and of course all the way through to the pivot there. New Zealand dollar yesterday, well, it's slightly more positive than the Aussie it looks, but it's the same sort of picture in terms of against the US dollar here, holding near the lows. Again, just catching a little bit of bounce at the moment, but not massively reliable. Bigger time frames still suggest, well, consolidation. This 4 hourly, I'm sort of looking at this. We need to see something more come away from it for me to be a bit more bullish on this, expecting it to catch the bounce. Again, this afternoon may give us the answer to that. And then again, Swissy, US dollar Swissy, southbound a little bit at the moment still on the dailies there again. Every time I see this come down here, I'm just waiting for the Swiss National Bank or something to happen. They don't like it this low. Anyway, or this strong for their currency. But lower highs coming through. Right, pairs we were in trades on, Aussie CAD's not doing anything particularly great here at the moment. It's in between. It is a swing trade. It came off early on the day it entered yesterday. It spent most of its time, well, initially it looked okay, but spent most of its time above price, so we're sitting underwater on that one at the moment. Aussie New Zealand took yesterday, and well, still it came off. It looked quite good in the afternoon there. I've just got this little line here waiting for an alert off that. Target is still down to the lows here, so quite a way away from its target, not just slightly underwater there at the moment, but still looking properly like it's in its downtrend there. It's just back up to its weekly pivot again, so we'll see if we can get a bit more reaction off of that, but the bigger picture certainly looking bearish still. Okay, so that will be left as well, but they're swing trades, so we'll see what happens. They could get caught up in the crossfire later. We'll see which one works out the best, but hopefully both the Aussie CAD and the Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar will hang in there. Right, I'll leave that there. I'll speak to you. Oh, I didn't do this. Sorry. Just a quick look at gold. I'm already dashing off here. I was looking. I thought I did that quickly. Okay, so gold's continue to push up here. Uncertainty around the world certainly feeding gold at the moment, and well, there we go. Uncertainty everywhere is feeding it, and it's near all-time highs, not far from its all-time highs here. So as expected, it's hanging in there. We could see a break there. Got to be careful. We might see a pop and drop on that, but it is looking quite positive at the moment. Oil took a hit yesterday, quite a big hit. Really, it's a fair old amount there, but it did at 3 o'clock kick off. But you can see it was quite a nice series of lows, and then it broke those lows down on comments made and the expectation that we might see further surpluses, etc. So yeah, It came off really nicely there yesterday at 3, so that's why I'll wait until 2 and 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the real starting point. 3 o'clock is if I get a trade at 3, it's lovely. Setting up at the moment for another move into the underside of the daily pivot, but again need to be a bit patient on this. With the oil data coming out later, and the dollar news, we could see a bit of a bit more aggressive action on that. S&Ps, so a little bit of a recovery on the short term here, but the dailies, well, a little bit of recovery there. It's just, I'll say a little recovery. It's just been bouncing around here. Certainly not a clear market. That which way does it want to go? We've still got the lower high coming down, so in this intermediate downtrend that's sort of sitting there. Needs to do something here. Maybe another break of the near-term highs will give us a little higher low. We've seen it already, actually. We've broken that, so it's given us a little higher low, but it's a struggle. Yesterday a mess. Inflation is going to be the big thing today. I'd steer clear personally. The DAX, not too dissimilar, and same sort of action going on, and the FTSE slightly better in the short term, but again consolidated around these phases. They're really choppy, really uncertain, and that sort of goes for all of these equity markets for now. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I will catch you. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.